time to rise and shine. It's time to be about that business. It's time to understand that if you want to get something out of your life, you got to be willing to work for it. I'm talking to the one that wants to go beyond the limit. I'm talking to the one that is willing to work a little bit harder than the next man or the next woman. I'm talking to the one that's been through hell. I'm talking to the one that really wants to take it to that level that no one has ever been. When you step into that room, when you step into that environment, you got to be hungry enough to eat what is coming your way. You cannot be concerned about what can't be done. You need to be focused on what must be done. If you feel that you are not in a position to do it, then why show up in the first place? You got to understand that it takes grit, passion, and determination to get to the level of where you want to be.
Hey, beautiful people. Hold on. Look a little dark. I'll turn my light. Still look dark. Okay. Still look a little dark to me. I don't know. I need to adjust my setting on my big studio light right here. But anyway, happy Tuesday, beautiful people. It is November the 21st, 2023, day 122 of year 5 of reading through books, laws, and prophets, and of the 5-year consecutive day count. It is day 1501. Today we're going to read chapter 41 in the WASP. Is it 41? Chapter 41 in the WASP in the book of Frag and Patty. Hold on, let me double check. Hold on, y'all. Yeah, 41. And then once we get done reading that, we're going to hop on over here to the Secret Nazarite Scroll, and we're going to read a little bit more of chapter 46 in the Holy God Spell. That starts on page 609. And we pick that back up on verse 292. We might get to finish it. And then again, we might not. It just depends on how fast I read, if I come up with any stories to interject. With that being said, I'm going to say hey to everybody, and somebody give me words of adoration for our great creator. Y'all started off today. Let me see who all here. Tabitha, hey girl, hey, happy Tuesday. Audrey, hey girl, hey. Shalom, shalom. Selah, what's going on, fam? Shalom. Just me. Blessings, fam. Mom, hey girl, hey. Elizabeth, hi. Nazarene the Scene said, peace, love, light, strength, and the creators were texting and current. I forgot what you said the spiral was. I might be right. I might be wrong. Shayla, hey, cousin. Try wiping my camera lens. Good idea. Hold on, y'all. Oh, that's a little bit better. Okay. All right, that's a little bit better. That worked a little bit, at least from my side. And everybody else here already hanging out in the background. Top of the day to you. All right. Somebody, words of adoration for the creator. I told y'all we're going to go back and forth. I'm going to do one, y'all going to do one. Y'all going to do one, I'm going to do one. Today, y'all going to do one first. Then I'm going to do one when we end. Go ahead. I'll wait. Y'all are freshly awakened from the land of sweet sleep. Somebody absolutely must have words of adoration and love for your great creator for opening your eyes this morning. Bueller. Thank you. Tabitha said, creator, thank you for no more fear of you. That I love that, Tabitha. Great creator makes fall. The season The season fall, that's one of my mom's favorite seasons, right? Especially because all of the beautiful scenery that begins to develop, well, all over the world, but here in Virginia, when you ride along 64 and some of the highways, all the pretty colors, it's a whole bunch of different fall colors. It's absolutely beautiful. I like that, y'all. All right, let's get right to it, y'all. Let's go ahead over here to the book of Fragapatty. Y'all think about that's good. Creator is the giver of sweet restorative sleep. I love that. Magnificent omnipresence. I love it. Okay, y'all. So go over to page 230, chapter 41. If you have the electronic version of Owaspish, chapter XLI in the book of Fragapatty. Y'all been thinking about Thursday? Y'all want me to be live Thursday? And if y'all want me to be live, y'all want to come in and hang out? Come in the room. Come on in the room. Instead of me reading, everybody just grab a cup of coffee or water or tea or whatever you do in the morning, and we just chat for about 30 minutes, maybe an hour, because I know a lot of people going to be cooking. I'm doing my cooking the day before, right? Because we got a family flag football game going on at 12 noon. So I was like, everybody, don't be black. Everybody get their food prepped and ready the day before so everybody can be at the game on time. And then dinner is at 4. I'll show y'all videos. It's gonna take a couple days to put all the footage together. But anyway, think about it. Y'all want to hang out, or y'all want to just be like, Pam, no, forget Thursday. You forget any other day when it's most convenient to you. Y'all let me know. Just think about it. Think about it. Zachariah, shalom, shalom. All right, y'all, let's start reading. Chapter 41, page 30, book of Fragapatty. The close of dawn was near at hand. Fragapatty returned to Moru, the heavenly kingdom of Haredi and Atmosphere, richly stored with a knowledge of the earth and her heavens. The capital was illuminated and decorum of the high. Already there were assembled more than 4,000 million angels prepared for the third resurrection. Fragapatty sent word to his Lord gods and his lords and gods, and to Samadhi, God in inherent, right up to the end of dawn. And he notified all of them the day and the hour when he should accomplish the resurrection. And when Fragapatty called his swift messengers, whose labor is with the thrones of Jehovah hold on, I just read it all wrong. And then Fragapatty called his swift messengers, whose labor is with the thrones of Jehovah in Ethera. He said, behold, the dawn of Dan is near the close. The brides and bridegrooms of Jehovah will number 10,000 million souls. 2 divisions will I make of grace, 55 and 70, for the forest and plains of Guchmala. This ye shall communicate to Hosi, goddess of Alawacha, on the road of Phokistan, saluting in Jehovah's name, and of his son, Fragapatty, chief. The swift messenger saluted and then departed. Next he called the swift messengers for the kingdoms below, and of these messengers there were 20,000, divided into 12 groups, and they had been previously apportioned to certain divisions of heaven and earth. To them Fragapatty said, to the Lord God of each division, and to the lords and gods, and through them to the officers under them, greeting in the name of Jehovah. Appoint and anoint the successors in Jehovah's name, and when your kingdom is in order, appear ye at the throne of Moru, for the resurrection of my host is near at hand. Provide ye ships and such vessels as are suitable, and bring as visitors from your kingdoms and most holy places as many atmospherians as desire to come, that they may witness the ceremonies and the ascent of Jehovah's sons and daughters. And these commandments were carried into all the divisions of the corporal earth and her heavens. Fragapatty then said to Athavra, thou shalt receive the brides and bridegrooms. As for myself, I will go down to the earth and receive God and Zarathustra, and they shall be born in my own ship, even unto this place, and thence to Ethera. In all places on earth and in heaven, the spirit. Okay. In all places on earth and in heaven, the spirit inhabitants were stirred to the utmost. In Horati, there were already more than 4,000 colonies, and everyone had thousands and thousands eligible to the third resurrection who would depart in the coming ascension. Of these, there were persons of every occupation, and they were perfect in their order, belonging to groups and series of groups. And now the captains and generals were reorganizing them into phalanxes, and the gods again organizing the phalanxes into kingdoms. Zeredho sent her contribution to Horati, 400 million souls. The Lord gods were making their groups in their own several divisions to be further organized after arriving at Moru, the place whence the final ascension would take place. Some of these had 1,000 million of their own resurrection, including whom they had previously sent to Horati. Fragapati sent special messengers to God, Samadhi, to learn the day appointed for Zarathustra's death, and he further allotted to Zarathustra 3 days in Hada in which to preach to mortals by the inspiration of God, and appointed the 4th day thereafter as the time of his ascension from the earth. Sounds quite familiar, doesn't it? Who else spent 3 days down in the pits of hell? That's my hour. I'm preparing for hubby and kids for work. Okay. Kings and Queens Coaching Group, shalom, shalom. From YouTube and Facebook, Drace and Righteous, what's going on, fam? All right, y'all. Sounds like the New Testament, right? Fragapati sent special messengers to Samadhi to learn the day appointed for Zarathustra's death, and he further allotted to Zarathustra 3 days in Hada in which to preach to mortals by the inspiration of God, and appointed the 4th day, therefore, as the time of his ascension from the earth. And now, when all these matters had been put into shape, Fragapati ordered the assembling of the sacred circle of the Holy Council, sons and daughters of the Most High. The lights were raised, and only gods and goddesses could remain in sight of or near the throne of Jehovah. Fragapati commanded Hoab to stand in the midst of the circle, facing the judgment seat. Fragapati said, "Hear the words of thy creator, O Hoab. I called thee up out of the ground, and with mine own spirit quicken I thee into life." Hold on, I'm gonna highlight that. Fragapati said, "Hear the words of thy creator, O Hoab. I called thee up out of the ground, and with mine own spirit quicken I thee into life. From thy youth up, I have followed thee day by day. I have called out to thee from my holy hill. With a woman's tenderness came I after thee. When thou didst try to run away from me, I followed after. Yea, I called my son, high raised in my everlasting kingdoms, and I said unto him, O my son, run thou quickly, for Hoab, my well-beloved, runneth away from me. Go thou and bring him, for he is my chosen. He shall be my God of the red star. Her heavens shall bow down before him. I will raise him up and anoint him with my holy fire. His countenance shall shine like a sun in my firmament. And Fragapati, my son, overtook thee in thy flight. With great cunning he captured thee unto my labors. And thou hast raised up thy voice and glorified me. With thine arms have been, I'm sorry, hold on, let me go back. And Fragapati, my son, overtook thee in thy flight. With great cunning he captured thee unto my labors. And thou hast raised up thy voice and glorified me. Thine arms have been bared to the harvest. Thy fruit is a song of glory. Have I not given thee experience in all things, even to the precipice of hell made I to walk and fall not. The darkness of everlasting death I made to encompass thee. In the hour of thy despair, I came to thee and raised thee up. Have I not great profit in thee, my son? My countless millions cry out in all places. They behold me not. They know not of me in my heavenly places. Like a troubled sea that knoweth no rest, the voices of mortals and angels forever cry out, there is no light. Wherefore then was I not wise in thee, O Joab? I made thee strong of limb and with arms that reach far. Thy judgment I fashioned for the great multitudes. I say to the bird, the young bird with feathers, fly, and it goeth away. I say to man, go forth in my name, but he looketh around. Again I say unto him, go forth, but he turneth to his neighbor for his opinion. Ooh, highlight this. Highlight these. Hey man, what you think about this? I mean, I feel like God said it to me, but what you think? This normally, or I feel it in my spirit, or I had a dream. What you think? Only if we trusted our Creator with our life more than we trusted other people, right? Wherefore then was I not wise in thee, O Joab? I made thee of strong limb and with arms that reach far. Thy judgment I fashioned for the great multitudes. I say to the bird, the young bird with feathers, fly, and it goeth away. I say to man, go forth in my name, but he looketh around. Again I say to him, go forth, but he turneth to his neighbor for his opinion. Again I speak, calling, come to me, but he standeth wondering. Again I say, come, but he saith, by and by. Again I say, come. He replieth, I have not all light. Again I call, and he saith, alas, there is nothing. And he goeth down in darkness. He curseth me and accuseth me of errors. He preacheth my shortness, but in his words cutteth himself off from me. In the foul smelling place of his darkness, my holy angels cannot come. He burrowed himself in stubbornness that is blind and deaf. But I blow my breath upon the earth and the stars. I drive them into new rows in the firmament of heaven. Into the dwelling places of my high gods, I drive them as chaff before the wind. And when the light of my heavens hath cleared away the darkness, I send my gods with great power. To this end have I raised thee up, O Joab. My shield is upon thee. Thou shalt wear the triangle of the red star. 200 years shalt thou hold dominion over the earth and her heavens. In my name speak, O Joab. Verse 21, page 231. Then spake Joab, saying, thy voice is upon me, O Father. My limbs are weak. My hands tremble like an old man that is palsied. Behold, I have sought in vain to find anything perfect in me. I am as a trumpet that is bruised and split. There is no harmony or power within me. Thou first gavest me a wife and sons and daughters to rule over and raise up for thy glory, but I failed utterly. My wife saw not with my eyes, nor heard with my ears, nor judged with my judgment. We were like two instruments, broken and out of tune. Oof. Wow. I like that for the married couples hanging out. They might be broken and out of tune right now. Let me just go back. This is so good. I'm going to start back over verse 22. Thou first gave it. Hold on, let me just go back when he first started talking. Verse 21. Then spake Joab, saying, thy voice is upon me, O Father. My limbs are weak. My hands tremble like an old man that is palsied. Behold, I have sought in vain to find anything perfect in me. I am as a trumpet that is bruised and split. There is no harmony or power within me. Thou first gavest me a wife and sons and daughters to rule over and to raise up for thy glory, but I failed utterly. My wife saw not with my eyes, nor heard with my ears, nor judged with my judgment. We were like two instruments, broken and out of tune. As for my sons, they went astray, like sheep without a herdsman. My advice was as weak to them as the shadow is to a tree. And my daughters went away from my love and chose young men even before my eyes. Then I cried out unto thee, saying, O Jehovah, why gavest thou me a kingdom? Behold, it is scattered and gone. Then I went down into the grave in sorrow. But thy hand raised up my soul in heaven, and thou gavest me another kingdom. But my people would not see through my eyes, nor hear through my ears. Then I sought to know if my eyes were not wrong, and my ears wrong, and my judgment wrong. Let me read that again. Then I sought to know if my eyes were not wrong, and my ears wrong, and my judgment wrong. And I turned about like one who was lost in a forest, and shutteth his eyes as to the direction of the sun, going by the sound of a multitude of tongues. And my kingdom drew a boundary around itself and shut out all light. But thy son came and delivered me and my people. Behold, I was as weak as a child. In my weakness, thy light came upon me. Nevermore shall I desire others to see through my eyes, or hear through my ears, or judge by my judgment. Thou hast healed me of my infirmity, O Jehovah. Only by one eye can things be seen through. By one ear can things be heard through. By one judgment can things be judged. Thou hast said, Go forth in my name. I will go, O Father. Thou hast said, Thou shalt have dominion over the earth and her heavens. This will I accomplish also by thy light and power, O Jehovah. Then spake Jehovah through Fragapati, saying, Accept the earth, O Hoab, my son, my God. It is thine to keep and to rule over. Accept Atmosphere, O Hoab, my son, my God. It is thine to keep and rule over. Hoab said, I will be thy son, O Jehovah. I will be thy God, O Jehovah. From thee I accept the earth to keep and rule over. From thee I accept the earth's heavens to keep and rule over. Again, Jehovah spake through Fragapati, saying, What thou doest henceforth do in my name, for it is of me and is me in thee. Hoab said, What do I henceforth do? What I do henceforth do I in thy name, O Jehovah. For I know it is thee in me that doeth all glorious things. Jehovah spake through Fragapati, saying, With mine own hands weave I a crown for thee, my son, my God of the red star. I place it on thy head for the glory of my kingdoms, which are endless in number and full of holiness. Wear thou my crown, for it is with wisdom and power. Then Fragapati's hands were weaved about by the Great Spirit, and a crown was woven and placed on Hoab's head. It was brilliant and white, studded with gems, countless millions. And after millions is reference number 45. 45 at the bottom says, studded with countless millions of gems. Hoab said, Crown from thy hand, O Father, I accept it and wear it, emblem of thy kingdoms, endless in number and full of holiness. I know that thou wilt ever be with me in wisdom and power. I will glorify thee forever. My kingdoms shall glorify thee forever. The chief marshal now conducted Hoab to the throne of Jehovah, which had been previously vacated, and Hoab sat in the midst of the throne. In the meantime, the Essenars chanted a hymn of glory. Hoab then said, Fragapati, son of Jehovah, Orion chief, come thou and honor my throne in the name of the Father. Then Fragapati went to the throne and sat thereon. Next, Hoab called up Athara, then Hapacha, and then other gods and goddesses. And now, whilst the council held, Fragapati said, Behold, the time of the death of Zarathustra have come. Be ye here, and I will go quickly down to the earth and receive God and him and the host of God and his lords. So Fragapati departed and sailed swiftly down to Parsi on the earth and came to the place of meeting of the corporeans who had charge of the holy word. And it was on the morning of the 4th day after Zarathustra's death. For 3 days and nights his spirit had been preaching to the faithists, explaining the kingdoms of Jehovah. So Fragapati called unto God, saying, Behold, my son, thy labor is done. In thee have I great delight. Behold, my ship lieth by the river. My lights are raised for the everlasting thrones. God, Samadhi, said, It is finished. That thou that thou, hold on, that thou didst put upon me, I have done. Behold, here standeth Zarathustra, my son. Hold up. I just thought about something in a little bit different of a context from the New Testament. Okay, so well, the story is still all chopped and screwed. But what if it seems here? Okay, so we know that in the New Testament, some of the story has been, I was gonna say fabricated in a way, but borrowed from other places, other manuscripts, and they condensed everything all into the one man named Jesus, right? The Messiah there, that particular son at that time, right? But it looks here, right? Okay. So this was, they're right here at a graduation of the brides and the bridegrooms, right? And during the end of this time, Zarathustra had also passed away. So Fragapati, they sent the crew to go get Fragapati, right? Who was at that time had already been dead according to earth days, 3 days, and his spirit had now manifested. So they were seeing him, just like they said after Jesus rose from the grave, all that stuff, people saw him, right? So it seemed like some of that story was borrowed from Fragapati's life. And when they came down, he was already preaching. He had brought the elements together to be able to show himself to the people still living, and he was preaching about the Father's kingdom to them when they showed up to come get him and the current reigning God of the earth during his time. And it was the current reigning God who said, "It is finished." Right? In the Bible, everything comes out of Jesus's mouth, but this separates it here. Zarathustra was preaching to the people about the kingdoms of God and the God who was also about to be resurrected. They were all about to go to the next level. The God, those who had graduated from the earth in the heavens, waiting to go to Ethera. It was the God that was reigning during Zarathustra's time that said, "It is finished." Right? Listen. I'll go back to verse 35, and it's only 38 verses, so we'll be done in like a second. So Fragapati departed and sailed swiftly down to Parsi on the earth and came to the place of meeting of the Corporeans who had charge of the holy word. And it was on the morning of the 4th day after Zarathustra's death. 3 days and nights his spirit had been preaching to the faithists, explaining the kingdoms of Jehovah. So Fragapati called unto God, saying, "Behold, my son, thy labor is done. In thee have I great delight. Behold, my ship lieth by the river. My lights are raised for the everlasting thrones of God." For the everlasting thrones. God, who was Samadhi at that time, said, "It is finished. That thou didst put upon me have I done. Behold, here standeth Zarathustra, my son." Zarathustra was then taking leave of his corporal friends, for his soul was fast becoming illuminated. Yea, he had looked up and beheld the ship of all light, and he knew now the voice of the Father. So Fragapati went and took Zarathustra in his arms, saying, "Come, my beloved, thy home is yonder." So they went into the ship of fire and ascended to Moru. Lindsay, y'all, what's going on, fam? Hoab is the mirror of many people rising from failures to victory. That is good, Tabitha. That is good, right? But that is so good. Jamia, hey, girl, hey. All right, y'all. So that's the end of that. This chapter was really, really good. Now, we're almost done. We ain't got that many more chapters here left in the book of Fragapati. Matter of fact, we just got 2 chapters left, 42 and 43. Then we got to go all the way back. And I think it's the first book of God? I'm sorry, Book of God's Word. We'll read through that it's going to probably take about 2 weeks, maybe. And then we start in the Book of Divinity. One of my most favorite books. I love it. I love it so much. Look, I told y'all before, that's the book I created my my book series out of. All right. It's going to be like a little kind of remind you of Marvel movies and stuff like that. The Book of Wars, Tabitha said, the Book of Wars showed theft of Zarathustra and many mighty men. Hold on, what? The Book of Wars showed theft of Zarathustra and many mighty men and baked up Jesus. And baked? Oh, you meant backed. And back what? Fix that word up. Correct me. Bake. I want to say the bake you meant backed, right? You meant backed. I want to make sure I'm saying this right. The Book of Wars showed theft of Zarathustra and many mighty men and backed up Jesus. I think that's what you meant. Backed up. I'll wait. Somebody had it wrong. While I'm waiting, let's go on over here to the Holy God Spell. Chapter 46, page 609. No. Yeah, 609. And we paused at verse 292. Back to Jesus lies. Okay, I get it. Back to Jesus lies. Okay. All right, y'all. So yesterday, we was talking about shape shifting. I forgot to change my titles from the last couple of days. I'll do that too. All right, so we was talking about the shape shifting, and they still asking questions. Matter of fact, this is still after the wedding of Yeshua and Miriam. They doing the initiations and all this good stuff. So this chapter 46, it's been going through different questions, right? Okay. So this is the next question starting at verse 292. The next question was asked by Madriga, the midwife. She said to Mother Mary, "You are the mother of the Lord. Being that I am a midwife, I will ask you a question about birthing." This is a good question. Do babies choose their parents, or is that decided by blind karma? Now listen, before I even read this, I have not read this ahead. Now, I had never heard this argument or this type of question being posed to anybody ever before, but the first time I heard it was like earlier this year. And then I was going across some videos or whatever, and somebody started talking about it was about your purpose for being here and stuff, and they got into this whole thing, and they truly believe that we chose our parents before coming here. Like, we chose the family that we come into, all of these things, but it was also along the lines of the reincarnation and being able to come back and karma and all that stuff. It was a really interesting conversation, right? Okay, so let me read this. Verse 295, page 610. Do babies choose their parents, or is that decided by blind karma? Mother Mary replied, those two ways, choice or karma, are intimately linked. For lo, our karma is linked to our conscious choices. For example, an advanced yogi may attain the level of consciousness whereat one may consciously choose one's parents. That yogi got to that level of consciousness as a result of a long series of conscious choices. Another soul may be too low on the scale of consciousness to have the ability to consciously choose its parents. But even in that case, the soul is at its current level. Get tongue-tied. But even in that case, the soul is at its current level of consciousness as a result of a long series of previous choices. So even those souls who incarnate not by choice but by karma do, in a sense, choose their parents, though not consciously. I'm gonna keep reading. I still got my own personal beliefs about reincarnation, what it is and what it is not. But we're gonna keep reading. Even so, those souls who incarnate not by choice but by karma do, in a sense, choose their parents, though not consciously. They chose them by having made countless other choices that led to that moment of apparent blind luck. Trust me, karma is never blind. It only appears that way to those who are unable to see the weaves. Interesting. The weaves, like weaving a vibrational, like the weaving of vibrations. Trust me, karma is never blind. It only appears that way to those who are unable to see the weaves. I thought it was going to be waves, but it's weaves, like weaving in and out. Yala, a skilled herbalist, asked the next. That's it. We're going on to the next question. I don't even think that was fully explained in a way where we can I get it, but I just thought, based on all the other stuff we read, I really thought like they was gonna get into this, maybe give some stories, examples and stuff more than what it just gave here. Okay. Verse 306. Yala, a skilled herbalist, asked the next question. Miriam, which herbs are most used in white magic? For I am soon to take initiation as a green wizard and wish to begin acquiring the herbs I will need. Miriam replied, in each region, certain herbs are available and others hard to find. Nazarenes have a great assortment of herbs due to our trading network and Alafim ships. Lo, the very best herbs for white magic enchantments are those that you grow yourself. Even so, I also use herbs from other lands. For some herbs with outstanding qualities, grow only in certain places. Only trade herbs with cheerful, honest, and wise herbalists. For behold, the vibrations of the grower and the harvester are forever linked with the herb. That is good. That's just like when you cooking somebody's meal. If you got a piss poor attitude and you mad at this person that you cooking your meal for, like say husbands and wives, if your attitude is off, you should not cook at that moment. Go pull yourself together, right? Because all that energy that's going on and going awry in you is going into everything that you touch, your dish, and you wonder why your husband is, or your wife, whichever one of y'all cook for each other, y'all take turns, I don't care. And you wonder why, like, did you even put salt in this? Right, they're gonna come back and say something snarky. Or you want to just take the plate and push it on the floor. You go cook for yourself then, right? But seriously, all of that energy, it doesn't matter who you're cooking for. It could be your spouse, it could be parents, it could be friends. You could be working somewhere and you're a chef, right? We can tell when we eat other people's food, we can tell if you took your time, if you know what you were doing, if it was made with love. If your food is made with love, boy, it make you want to get up and dance like, oh my God, right? Look. Hold on. This spoon, dirty woman. Eat with your hands. Crystal, the alkaline doula, said the same thing. She's a herbalist. I ain't just hear her. I seen a couple of her things pop up. I don't really remember watching anything from her. I know I heard somebody talk about her. That's what made me go look her up. But I just found her channel, I subscribed to it, and then I never came back. Normally, if people post a lot, and I don't know, the algorithms, normally if people post a lot, it'll just pop up with a new video, but I haven't thought about her since I went looking for her. Shucks, this had to have been last year. Like last year. Nothing's popped up in my feed about her. I completely forgot about her, but that's good. So they are saying both are true. Choosing for self and being placed based on karma. So they are saying both are true. Choosing for self and being placed based on karma. I believe so. Based on if you believe we come back here multiple times, I think that's what they're saying, right? Jamil, is that your understanding of this, or why they're saying that? They're looking at because like we're already here, we already have our parents, right? That's how I'm looking at it. We're already born here. We already have our parents. So this mindset has to come from those who believe in the reincarnation cycles, as like you get to come back here to earth multiple times to be born in this realm. Not my current understanding of that reincarnation is something different, not coming back to the same place, but you're forever progressing just in different spaces. Like, okay, different spaces. Like, first, we'll just start off and say you coming from the creator of all, the great spirit, right? You live in that world for a period of time until you're manifested inside of the loins of the Father who will carry you here in this realm. And then after you live in that world for a period of time, when it's your time to go, he then takes you and implants you into the woman of his choosing at that moment, right? Shoot you on into her world, right? And then you are born again in that world, and you live there for almost 10 months, right? And when your time is up in that world, you're born again into this world, hence this world where we all are currently at now, right? And so I still have my thoughts on that, because if all of us who come in here are new spirits, granted, we may not be that new, but when we come from the creator, right, we're new then, right? New. Like everybody who comes through this realm that we're currently at, it's like, I no longer believe that we've been here before. Our bloodline, yes. Can we draw from previous bloodline ancestors? Yes. Right. I think people have gotten that kind of twisted when they can tap into it and they take that's a previous life of mine. Not necessarily. I think it's a life of your ancestor and you're not looking at it appropriately. That's my belief, right? I know some people still believe and we get to come back to earth like 10 times. Like in my past life, I was Joan of Arc, then I was Michael Jordan, then whatever. I don't believe it like that anymore. So is that what you're saying? Okay, let me go down. Yes, they believe in incarnation, reincarnation. Okay. Yeah. Mahalia, shalom, sis. I ain't seen you in a while. You probably been hanging out in the background though. Peace and love, family. Okay. Tabitha said, I don't believe we can choose our parents. What about folks who hate their parents? What about when the mother chooses to abort the pregnancy? Right? I see all of those things. Like you got to answer all of those questions. I think we are all, I don't think we've all been here before. Listen, what I've studied, asking different questions, looking at different answers from different people, like common sense, what we can do now, how we should be developing, being able to tap into things spiritually. Like you have to consider like all these things, right? Even the children, right? They have some very convincing documentaries and series on children who come out and they can rattle off my past life. My name was Jane Doe. I lived at 1427 Burton Street in Suffolk, Virginia. My parents were John and Elizabeth. I had 4 siblings. And sometimes people like, okay, this child is crazy. But first, let's just check into what this child's saying. You go and find that John and Elizabeth live on Burton Street and all the siblings gave the names like, what? And that's what throws people off. But it throws them off because they don't understand. They don't understand some I say they really lack spirit education, right? Because from what we understand and what makes a lot of sense now is that the spirits who have already been here and have passed are, instead of them continuing on growing and rising, they're lingering about the earth plane, right? And they're roaming around. That's what church people call demons and all of this stuff. Some of them act like they ain't got no goddamn sense, scaring people in a house and stuff. Y'all know, hear about the stories in my closet. But They also graft themselves onto people. And a lot of those children that come out like that and from birth they're acting like that, that means that their seed was usurped in the womb. A spirit was able to graft onto that child, even from maybe it was in the womb, or maybe it was right when they was birthed here, like they was waiting, like ready to hop on, like you waiting for that double dutch, them ropes to open up just enough for you to slide in, right? And that's what they did. They got up in there, grafted onto that child, right? Either at the birth moment in the hospital where spirits linger about in gangs, or because of the life of the father, most particularly the mother, when she's carrying a child in her womb, and her lifestyle allowed it to happen. So all of these things. Yeah, so I'm with you, Tabitha. I don't believe we can choose our parents, because what about folks who hate their parents? And people have different issues in life they got to deal with, so some people may hate their parents and whatever, right? Everybody got different situations. We have to learn how to grow through, not necessarily adapt to if it's bad, but you have to learn how to take those lemons and make them lemonade in your life and give everybody a glass to drink, right? So no matter how bad your childhood was or all of your traumas in life, the whole point of that. Now, a lot of it is unrighteously pushed on people, and some things should never happen. But what happened has happened. And as we grow, we should learn how, or if you don't know how, there should be a group of people supporting you that can help you pull you out of that dark place, right? And as you grow, as time progresses, and as you're healed, you now become, you can call it a survival, or somebody else who's now in a position to help others in places of darkness. Teach them how to make those lemons that life gave them and people gave them, and make it some of the sweetest lemonade that people crave for, right? Even on a cold, wintry day. Girl, I know it ain't hot, but give me some of that lemonade you got. Okay. Selah said, I want a new spirit, not some old worn out spirit. I'm with Selah, right? Bring me some new babies up in her. Remember what Waspy said? We can't. Right. I forget exactly where that is, but yes, we live, because we're new. We come in as blank slates, And for real, most of our lives, or at least until we're able to kind of control things, people are writing what they want to write on us, right? And as we get older, like I just said, as we understand, we can. Where's the eraser? Give me some white out. You know what? We just gonna rip this page all the way out, right? We can then begin to adjust the story and change the narrative and erase, because some of the stuff people write on us is garbage. It ain't good for nothing but the fire. Yahweh, peace, family. Derek, what's going on, family? Shalom. Jamil said, those that believe you can choose your parents think you choose them based on the lessons you need to learn, right? I remember people saying that. And if the mother has an abortion, she has now gained karmic debt, ended that soul's contract. Yeah. And so now she's going to have to, we ain't going to get into all that, but yeah. They definitely believe in reincarnation, with that being able to choose the parents and all of those things. But it's an interesting take, right? So if y'all haven't read about it, y'all should read it. I ain't saying get caught up in it, but it's interesting to know the different perspectives that are out there about this, right? But there is a middle ground somewhere. So I say be as informed as you possibly can with all the different theories, and look at it, and then ask the Creator to help to guide you, right? You got to let the truth rise up from the error, right? Let everything that should fall, let it fall. Keep the pieces of life and light that are true. On go, y'all. So what's going on, fam? All right, y'all. Look, where we at? It's 7:22. Who was that? It's talking about these herbs. Okay, I'll go to the end of this question. I'll finish with these herbs, and we're going to pause at verse 336, because that's what the next question was asked. Okay, let me finish this. Verse 304. Trust me, karma is never blind. It only appears that way to those who are unable to see the weaves. Yala, a skilled herbalist, asked the next question. Miriam, which herbs are most used in white magic? For I am soon to take initiation as a green wizard and wish to begin acquiring the herbs I will need. Miriam replied, in each region, certain herbs are available and others are hard to find. Nazarenes have a great assortment of herbs due to our trading network and Alafim ships. Lo, the very best herbs for white magic enchantments are those that you grow yourself. Even so, I also use herbs from other lands. For some herbs with outstanding qualities grow only in certain places. Only trade herbs with cheerful, honest, and wise herbalists. For behold, the vibrations of the grower and harvester are forever linked with the herb. Yala, there are countless herbs that are used in white magic enchantments. 50 is a powerful number, so I will name 50 herbs that are commonly used by green wizards and white magic enchantments. In no particular order, they are spikenard, garlic, mint, purslane, sage, aloe, ginger, horsetail, hyssop, mallow, rose petal, thyme, sesame, fenugreek, caraway, dill, celery, star anise, endive, coriander, pepper, cumin, bay leaf, fennel, marjoram, clover, mustard, lovage, clove, amaranth, blackberry, lavender, parsley, basil, rosemary, chamomile, turmeric, yarrow, nettles, catnip, seaweed, jasmine, cardamom, mullein, flax, parsnip, cinnamon, hibiscus, myrrh, and ganjah. These 50 herbs were on the tip of my tongue. They are commonly used in white magic rituals. There are many others. The next question, hold on. I didn't even see that. Hold on. Let me finish this because it's still kind of like herby-like. The next question was asked by Flower. Flower said to Miriam, on our journey to the wedding, I overheard you advise a woman to eat medicinal nettles for her condition. You spoke about eating a few at first and then adding more the next time. My hearing of that conversation has motivated me to ask the following question. How does an aspiring herbalist learn the correct dosage for nettles or other herbs? Miriam replied, in regard to medicinal herbs and right dosage, I teach the methodology my mother, Zibia. The first time you eat or drink a medicinal herb, try only a little bit, even if others try more. If you have no bad reaction, next time increase the dose a bit. Always err on the side of caution. And realize this, the best herbalists are those that do not overuse or overprescribe medicinal herbs. For lo, medicinal herbs insert a corrective vibration into our system when needed. To insert corrective vibrations that are not called for by the current condition can actually throw the body out of balance. That's good. Don't overdo it. To insert corrective vibrations that are not called for by the current condition can actually throw the body out of balance. Wherefore, the wise herbalist only uses or prescribes medicinal herbs when needed, unless that herb is a generic tonic that will not create an imbalance when used in the absence of specific symptoms. This is a lifetime study. Zibia told me, Miriam, tell this to your herb students. The best teachers are lifetime students. The main premise in determining dosage is this. Use only the amount needed to produce the desired effect, not a pinch more. And that's what we're going to pause. This is the question that this next question is where I actually marked us to stop at 3:36. So that's what we're pausing at today, y'all. And we have 57 minutes too. All right. Beautiful people. Yeah, right. We got a master herbalist in the house. Say like he say facts, right? And he does this daily. Okay, beautiful people, that is it for today. Thank y'all for hanging out. It is Tuesday, November the 21st, 2023, day 122 of year 5 of reading through books, laws, and prophets of the 5-year consecutive day count. We have been here 1,501 days. We read chapter 41 in the book of Fragga Patty, and we read a little bit more here in the Holy Godspell from chapter 46. We started on page 609 and went all the way to page 611, which were verses 292 to verse 335. And we'll probably actually finish this tomorrow because it's 411 verses. We definitely gonna finish this tomorrow, unless I get off into a tangent while we're reading a WASP and it takes up all the time like it sometimes normally do. All right, beautiful people. So with that being said, Father, we thank you for teaching us to be lifetime students. Yeah, I'll pull something from the reading today. It's the best. Lifetime students. All right, beautiful people. That's it for today. We are out of here. Nobody else said anything. Y'all want to come Thursday or no? Yes or no? Yes or no? Some people said yes yesterday, hanging out. Other people said no, right? Maybe I'll do a poll. I'll do a poll. I'll do a poll today. So whoever answered, I'll give it to Wednesday, probably Tuesday night. Tuesday night, which is tonight. And then tomorrow, when we come on, I'm going to let everybody know whether we're going to be here Thursday or not, right? I'll leave the option open because, you know, some people, it's a hard time for them, right? And they don't have family around wherever they are. And so I'm just like, maybe I should, maybe I shouldn't. You know, I'm just really thinking about that part right there. But I think everybody here, for the most part, unless it's somebody hanging out in the background, everybody going to either be with family doing something with a spouse or something. I'm not sure, right? But at least we can be a little bit of light on that day for somebody who like might really need it. So that was my thought, right? Okay. We'll see. I'll do a quick poll. Y'all see it pop up. All right. That's it. I'm done. I'll see y'all back here in the morning, beautiful people, bright and early, between 6:15 and 6:30. Bruce.
But I see through you.
I'm from outer space. I got Milky Way for blood, evolution in my veins. I'm gold, I've been far away. I'm illuminated now, making
What did you just do to me?
I pushed your astral form out of your physical form.
What's in that tea? Psilocybin? LSD?
It's just tea. With a little honey.
What just happened?
For a moment, you entered the astral dimension.
What?
A place where the soul exists apart from the body.
Why are you doing this to me?
To show you just how much you don't know. Open your eye.
been dreaming about flying for a long time. I had a vision from the birds, they want a cosign.
What's happening? This isn't real, this isn't real, this isn't real, this is...
Dreaming about flying for a long time. I had a vision from the birds, they want a cosign.
His heart rate is getting dangerously high.
He looks all right to me. You think that this particular universe is all there is?
I don't need gravity, I don't need
What mysteries lie beyond the reach of your senses? Existence, mind and matter meet. Thoughts shape reality.
I don't need gravity, I just need growth. I am not really here, I'm an intrusion. I don't swim or sink, I just float.
Some benevolent and life-giving, filled with malice and hunger. Dark places where powers older than time and waiting.
I don't swim or sink, I just float.
Who are you in this vast multiverse?
I don't need gravity, I just need I don't need gravity, I just need growth.
Have you seen that before in a gift shop?
I don't need gravity, I just need growth.
Teach me.
No.
It's an earthquake rumble. I won't ever ever fall, never stumble. And I don't need to be humble. Break down walls like Jericho crumble.